Alright, so we're going to go over how to quickly check that your shotgun is ready to shoot. First thing we're going to do here is grab the magazine cap. Keep in mind this is for an 870. All shotguns are a little bit different, but the concept on pumps are the same. Then you want this grip here to be about halfway. Your action should be halfway open. What you're going to do there is pull your barrel and it should come straight out. At this point, what we want to do is make sure the choke tube in here is tight. An easy way to do that is to stick your finger in there and turn it. They also make a wrench if that's more your style. Next, we want to look for pitting on the inside of the barrel.
So, I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but if you look inside there,
it should be nice and smooth all the way down with no rough marks or bumps, anything like that. While we have it out, we can check the outside for dents, rust, anything of that nature. This one looks good to go. And the next step is to look for scars or cracks on the stock of the shotgun. And just taking a quick peek here, you'll notice that nothing looks unserviceable. Something else you want to do is make sure that the back of the stock here does not move. Everything should be tight there. You want to make sure where the wood meets the metal, it's nice and flush all around. Nothing should be turned. To put this back on, line the barrel up, slide it onto the magazine tube here, and put the cap back on. You'll hear it clicking as it tightens. It doesn't need to be crazy tight. Hand tight is plenty. And from there, you can either lock this back or send it forward. Make sure that everything functions like it should.
Okay, for this next part, we're going to go over some etiquette and terminology that's common in the trap shooting world. This will be alphabetical, and I've given my participants a handout in case they get confused and want to look later. First up is the term amateur. This is simply anybody that's not sponsored. You'll hear ATA, that's Amateur Trap Shooting Association. It's if you want to shoot registered events and have your plays count towards lifetime scores or competitions. Backyardage, that refers to this 24 to 27 yard line that we have at our respective stations. A broken target, that's simply one that comes out in pieces. You get to reshoot that. When you're actually ready for the target, you're going to make a call. You simply say pull. Choke, that's in the end of the shotgun that we looked at earlier when tightening it in the barrel. And this is what adjusts how tight your shot group is at various distances. Clay, that's simply slang for the target. Dead target is one that was thrown and visibly hit. Doubles, that's 2 clays at one time. So when you call pull, 2 will come from the machine. Dropped, that's something shells, and generally you want to keep 2 extras, so if you shoot at a broken target, you can load in one of your extras. That way you won't be short for the round. People in trap are pretty nice though, and if you don't have a spare, someone next to you will. They'll give it to you. Just make sure you give them a shell when the round's over. Never flag anyone. That just means don't point your barrel at anybody, and wait until it's almost your turn before you go loading. If you just shot, there's no need to put a shell in when the next 4 people have to go. Alright, next up we'll get to the hands-on activity. Alright, as you can see, we're here at station number 3, right in the middle of the trap house. And as we talked about previously, there's a few ways that you can throw your clay. First up, the preferred method and most common at a trap shooting club is going to be the mic here. Now the height isn't adjustable, but the angle of the mic is. So when you're standing here, like so, getting ready to shoot, if you call pull and it doesn't reach you, something you can do is move it a little bit closer or just adjust the angle of the microphone. Now, I'm right-handed, so you'll notice that the microphone is on the left. That's so when I bring my shotgun up here, it's not going to be in the way. If you're left-handed, then move the mic over to the right side. The other option we have for throwing, as you can see here, is a simple button, and when you push it, the clay will be thrown from the trap house. This is the old way to do things, and it's just as reliable as the microphones, but you have to be paying attention because a shooter doesn't want to have a delay after they call pull. My participant Carlos, and he's going to be demonstrating some of the fundamentals and techniques that we have touched on earlier. As you can see, he's on station 1, the far left of the 5. First, we will go over main points, footing, breathing, cheek weld. So you can see here that he's turned a little too far to the right. The problem with this is if he gets a target that goes left, his body is going to be turning unnaturally to try and catch up. So what we're going to have him do is move his left foot over, and he'll move his right foot up just a little bit, somewhere in here. And as you can see, that opened his stance up now, so he's facing the trap house better, and he has more freedom of movement left or right. Next step, we're going to bring the shotgun up, pull it straight back, tuck it into the pocket of your shoulder, right there. Perfect. And he's going to set his face straight down, and you'll see that his cheek is leaning over it a little bit like a nice cushion. He's looking down the barrel. He has both eyes open so that he can use his peripherals to look at the clays as soon as it comes out of the trap house. Next, he's going to bend his knees just a little bit, nothing crazy, and he's going to lean forward so that if he has to swing to the left, he won't be leaning back on the arc. All right, go ahead and load your first shell in there. We have our eye pro and our ear pro on ready to go. And whenever you're ready, it's on fire now. Call pull, take your shot, and we will go over what you did right and what you did wrong. Pull! Okay, so Carlos got a hard left target on that one, and he was just a little bit behind it. Something we can do to improve that, you'll notice before he called pull, his shotgun was down in the low ready position, and in this sport you're actually allowed to pull it back and tuck your face, get it ready before calling pull. So this time we'll load up the shell. And he's going to bring the shotgun back, set his face down, and you want to look in the distance because your eyes have about a half second, quarter second delay between looking right in front of you and focusing on the clay. So if you have your eyes ready to look at the clay target out there, it will be easier for you to spot it coming out. All right, whenever you're ready, go ahead and call pull, then take your shot. Pull!
Okay, he got that one, so that's good. We do have some tips though still. You'll notice that when the target came out, he overtook it a little bit and he almost had to stop to come back to it. So the goal here is when the target comes out, we're going to look at it, take a nice sweeping motion, overtake the target, pull the trigger, and continuing following through at the same pace. That's simply so we don't get in the habit of lifting our head off the shotgun, which will turn into prematurely lifting it before you pull, causing loss. All right. Pull. I'd say that shot looked pretty good. One thing we can do though is you don't look quite comfortable with your stand. So if you wanted to adjust your feet at all to feel more comfortable. All right. And you notice move them a little bit, but not too much. That's like we said because he wants to be able to open up to the left and take his shot. Now remember, we're getting into a bit of a hurried pace here, so remember to shoot your own round. Okay, you set the pace, don't let others dictate the pace during the round. After you bring the shotgun up and set your face down, take a second, breathe in, nice and relaxed, and when you're ready, you can call pull and take your shot. Alright, one thing that we've talked about is aim points, and I'm going to give you a visual demonstration of exactly what that means using the play target. So we're at Station 1, which is where we're filming this from right now. You'll notice you're seeing this trap house at a hard left angle. So what you want to do to set yourself up for success, a lot of people, they just hold somewhere in here. If you pretend this is where you're looking down the barrel, this is where they aim, which is all right because you're below the trap house, so you know that you'll see the clay come out. Something we can do to help us get to the target faster, though, is actually aim about a foot over and just a hair left when you're at Station 1. And that's because the furthest right this target will go will actually be a straightaway for you. But if it were to throw it to the far left, you'll notice that would be extremely difficult to try and sweep over to. So by cheating and putting our sights to the left to begin with, if this target comes out hard left, we're already in position and we're not having to catch up from here, swinging it all the way over here. Alright, now at position 3 here, which is right in the middle, a good reference point is to hold about a foot up, but in the center. And that's because your target can go equally far to the right as it can to the left. So if we were to hold on one particular corner, whether it be this one or over here, it'd be doing you a little bit of a disservice because, like I said, it has an even chance of going either direction and the angles will be the same either